Welcome back to Katamari Damacy. I think we're up to like make a star 6, but I'm pretty sure there's a yep, we're gonna make Corona Borealis. Oh
no! Oh no!
First cancer, now Corona. Oh god!
Just what you said last part.
God damn it!
Jeez, fellas, can't we skip this mission?
So I looked up the war crimes defined by the United Nations. Okay?
That's a good sentence.
They include intentional murder of innocent people, torture or inhuman treatment, including biological experiments. Now, would you all consider being rolling up into the Katamari torture?
I feel like that checks off all of those boxes.
I feel like this qualifies as an act of God, though. Like, we don't say a tsunami committed war crimes. We just say like, oh shit.
God has definitely committed war crimes.
It's Mother Nature, but not God.
Have you looked at the Old Testament? Lots of war crimes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, like, hold on a moment. Willfully causing great suffering or serious injury to body or health. Like, the dude flooded the world on purpose. Definitely war crime. Compelling a prisoner of war or other protected person to serve in the forces of hostile power. Used by children of age 16 into armed forces or groups, or using them to participate actively in hostilities. The king's using child soldiers. The king of all cosmos is using child soldiers right now.
We're off to a great start.
This really is like MGS5.
It's not a war crime if God does it.
I think the prince and the cousins need to unionize.
Yeah, like they need to get a fair living wage. Oh wait, you know what? No, screw them. Screw the aristocracy. They're probably living in like some... Oh, actually, you know what? Never mind. I was going to say they're living in some fancy Cosmos palace, but no, he lives on like a barren planet with like a birdhouse on it.
Yeah, he literally lives on a mushroom.
The prince
like,
needs to unionize.
I don't know if I went there, but all the cousins are on the mushroom. Like there's a space mushroom thing. Oh yeah, so this level we're collecting crowns.
Is this the level where you get the crown present?
I do, and I do get it. I found that one.
Nice.
But yeah, I like this level because there's just crowns everywhere.
I love that sound. It doesn't sound like a cat though. It sounds like somebody pretending to be.
Sounds like Owen Wilson.
It probably was. It probably was like the VA for the kid.
Wow.
I hate that you can pick up the chalk drawings. I absolutely despise it.
That NFT is
Don't
mine
worry
now.
about it.
Yoink.
It's an NFT, Johnny.
It's an NFT, Johnny.
Gonna get them jawbreakers for sure. Wow, Plank, an NFT.
Oh, I got another
Dorks,
chop
right click, save as. New edited reboot coming out this year.
They have a reboot coming
No,
out?
I'm joking around.
Oh, okay. You
Jack's
almost made
doing a
me
little
really
bit
happy
of
for a second, because Ed and Eddie was one of my favorite shows.
Oh, it's so good.
growing up. Like, I love
It's one of the best things Canada ever did.
Hey, wait a minute.
You know, we've got two Canadians literally in this call right now.
Listen, we got the War of
Oh,
1812
I
and
can't,
Ed,
like,
Ed, and Eddie.
dispute that,
There's like
though.
two sides of the spectrum here.
Oh, that
What,
girl's
Nickelback
bullying
and
me.
Ed, Ed, Ed?
Yeah. It's a pretty slippery slope when you think about it.
Hey, we're also responsible for Justin Bieber. Come on.
Is that supposed to
Listen,
be a
you've
good
got
thing?
some less terrible things, though. Like, Avril Lavigne isn't the worst. Like, she's painfully early 2000s, but, you know, if you like that sort of thing.
What about the classics? What about Celine Dion? The one everybody mentioned. That's the first
yeah.
one everybody mentions.
No, the super retro classic, Anne Murray. Huh?
God.
Listen, I'm just saying that America is probably the greatest military power in the world right now, and we have a losing record against Canada. So, you know, I'm just saying.
we're still not over the War of
all right, time to
1812.
go fight Canada. Shit, Canada's got hands. That's the best thing about the world underestimating you. You always win.
Oh,
that is true, yeah. Because either, oh, yeah, no, they never were going to win, or, oh, shit, you can't believe they won.
Yeah, I mean, Canada's biggest enemy is itself, honestly.
Yeah, trust nobody, not even Canada.
I feel like we can handle other countries and stuff, no problem. But when it comes to us and infighting, no, we're fucked.
There's infighting in Canada? Like, I don't know.
Oh my gosh,
the
yeah,
Canadian
where have you been?
politics. In America, not Canada.
It is just as bad over here. It's just not as loud. It's like not as loud in your face, but it's all still there.
Oh,
I look at it
see,
now and
I
then,
was
hoping it's
hoping,
a
I was
reprieve.
hoping that it was just like this country that was shitty. You know, like
Oh.
why? Who
Oh,
put a
no.
crown on that piece of garbage?
You
did.
know.
You can even be the king of trash.
Tasty
beautiful.
flavor.
The king of trash.
King of trash, but we're not talking to Persona 5 fans.
Oh.
Ted, I can't believe you said that. I'm going to comment angrily right now. Hang
It's
on.
okay. It's all right if you like Persona 5. You can just admit you have bad taste. I'm kidding.
I have bad
obviously.
taste.
Now clip that last part.
See, I
but
do
cut out the
admit
part
I
where he
have
says
bad
he's
taste,
kidding.
but you still make fun of me.
I'm gonna like, but I'm also gonna report it. So there.
I'm gonna call the police.
What a
It's
boss
okay.
move.
Persona 5's ending is still somehow better than Shin Megami Tensei 5's ending. So, you know.
Oh, fuck
Like-
you,
Oh
right?
my.
I can't believe that that's the case, but it is true. So
I
you
gotta
know.
beat the game to find out.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
Doesn't
Oh
SMT
wait,
have, like,
one of these
multiple endings?
motherfuckers has the crown on his butt.
So, Clement, in SMT 5, I think there's 4 possible endings, and at least 3 of them are terrible.
Oh.
I don't know what happens in the 4th one. I'd have to replay the entire game over again to find out, and I'm not about that right now. But yeah, it's like, game's great, but the ending and the story in general is just really not good at all. Which is just a real shame, because, you know, you play an RPG for that long and, like, you hope that the ending will, like, be worth it, and then it just kind of falls apart in the last, like, 5 hours, and it's a shame.
Well, the last 5 hours, I
Rent
just thought it
don't
was
buy is what I'm
the
hearing.
story wasn't good for most of it.
Oh, no, so the story's not good for most of it. You're right, but you're like, there's like the hope that things will get there's interesting concepts, so the game tricks you into thinking that it's going to get better. You know?
I see.
That's what's going on.
Oh, well, it tricked you.
I guess we just have to wait for Persona 6 then.
I like how the Atlus Twitter account is busy celebrating the birthdays to random Persona characters from like Persona 1 that nobody knows, but not promoting SMT5,
Yeah, like Hitler.
aka the newest entry in their flagship series.
Yeah,
All
when
right.
are those characters' birthdays?
Now,
We
fucking
don't know.
You know, Persona 1 and 2 fans got shit on for so long. It's like, let them have this.
I think they want. Well,
Let them have
Persona
their
1 and 2
tweets.
fans get shit on for so long, and maybe Atlus should give them their game. Like, I would love a way to play the Persona 2 duology that doesn't involve buying 2 very old games on 2 different consoles.
Pick
That
out
would drive
home
me
loan to buy
nuts.
the DS game.
I'm just waiting for them to eventually re-release the game, because I'm like, this is stupid. They'll
Persona
re-release
4
it.
Arena!
Oh yeah, now that's what they're shilling is for Arena Ultimax.
Yeah. The port of a port that came out in like 2013 or something.
Digital only.
Cool. Wait, it's digital
Yep.
only even? Wow.
Yeah.
Because Atlus
Okay.
is a small indie
All right.
company.
Although I think, I think somebody I think somebody like they hacked they did like the hacking into the site and found evidence that there also is going to be P4U also on Switch. So maybe, and by the time this video comes out, we'll know the truth. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of planning on just like uploading these videos like over the next couple of weekends, like out of nowhere.
Bonus
And
weekend.
oh, by the way, I didn't tell Ryan, John, or Lewis that we were doing this.
Oh, I understand more now.
suckers.
I feel like that layer
Hi,
of
guys.
chaos is very appropriate for this game, though. Like, it
Yes.
just drops out of nowhere.
Yeah, I took
Rolls
the
around,
Katamari
leaves.
ball and rolled up all these assholes into the
Hey.
call and was like, "We're doing this now."
I already
And they were
made
like,
that
"Okay."
joke, Mr. Toad.
And then I went, meow.
Oh, did I
Wow.
steal your joke? I'm sorry, Catherine.
No, you're not.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not.
You
nothing.
have to sue him now for joke stealing.
Oh,
in a
shit.
video. We have to have the court now in session.
Oh, can she do diplomatic
rise.
immunity in Central Time Zone?
Well, no, fuck your Central Time.
I
Oh,
like the idea of time zone diplomatic immunity, though.
Look at that giraffe head coming out of the wall.
I'm in the central zone. You can't do shit to
hold
me.
on. Let me just shoot Ted in Central Time Zone, and then it'll be okay.
So wait, so if you shoot me in Central Time Zone and I die in Eastern Time Zone, does your diplomatic immunity apply?
Well,
though?
technically, I shot you an hour in the
you-
future, so they can't get me back here.
That was in an episode. That was an episode of The Simpsons where Sideshow Bob is planning to kill Bart, and he takes him to the 5 corners, and it's like, okay, I shoot you in this corner, the bullet goes through these 2 ones, you get hit in one state, and then fall in the last state. So none of these acts are illegal in anything, but altogether they make the perfect crime.
Easy.
It's an interstate crime. But then the feds get involved.
Yeah, and then
fuck
and then it ends with all 5 like police all converging at once, and then he's like, okay, which one do I go to? And it's just like he's just stuck with like whatever's the closest one to him.
You see, that's not realistic because what would happen is all 5 police officers just wouldn't show up. It's the real world. So.
God.
Or they would all start shooting at each other.
That also would be possible and much more amusing. Can we get popcorn?
Gang warfare.
How is that a crown?
Oh, we're
That's
about
not
to see
a crown. That's a,
She's
that's
the
an
girl's
about
gonna
to
mouth.
see,
feel
my
the
friend.
cosmos.
Don't worry about it.
Kanjiru. Let's see
Tifos.
that
This guy's high
crown.
as fuck.
See,
Yeah,
there you go,
that's
Ted.
that's an uwu mouth. That's not a crown.
It's just the eye
Corona
of the
Borealis! At this time of day, at this time of night, localized entirely in this YouTube video.
May I see it?
Oh, and then I put the crown on.
No.
Yeah.
Prince has corona.
Oh.
No!
Can you get like a
That's a
mask
shot.
in this game? Is that like a thing you can put on the prince?
Yeah, we'll see that.
You
well,
get
not
the
like
mask
not
for
like
the
a doctor
king.
mask,
Okay.
but I think you can get one in Katamari Forever though. There's a lot of accessories in Katamari Forever. There's like wings, there's a halo, there's little backpacks.
Is Katamari Forever the last game to come out in the series?
No, because there's been some like iOS ones. I think there was a
This
Vita
beautiful
one.
Katamari.
But
There was
there's-
one for the Vita.
Yeah.
Touch My Katamari.
Touch My
Oh,
Katamari,
right.
I think is the iOS one maybe.
So I'm looking here.
I really don't like the name Touch My Katamari, by the way.
Yeah,
It's how-
there's tap. It's okay. There's Touch My Katamari and Tap My Katamari.
That sounds
and
like
there's
something
also-
you would say on like Tinder.
Tap My Katamari.
Looking for someone to tap my Katamari.
And there's also Amazing Katamari Damacy.
Yeah, it really sounds like a pickup line for Tinder. GGG, tap my Katamari, ooh.
Would you like to roll my Katamari around a little bit?
I'm just gonna show up to a date and get rolled into a ball. It's great.
Yeah. So Touch My Katamari came out on the Vita, and that was like the last non-mobile one to come out, and that was only like 2 years after Katamari Forever. So yeah, it's been like 10 or so years since we've gotten a quotation marks new real Katamari game.
Damn.
So I feel like they could do it. Like, I don't think that.
I do
you need
worry
to-
that they've run out of, like, it's one of those series where I feel like my concern is that the team ran out of ideas. And that's kind of
Yeah.
evidenced by the fact that Katamari Forever has a lot of, like, repeat levels. And
I'm
again,
surprised there's so many repeat entries.
I know. It's weird. Like, you would think they could, like, I don't know. I feel like part of the charm of it is exploring, like, new areas, even if you're doing similar stuff in all the areas. So I would love if it was just, like, instead of this sort of generic, like, an area like this that's quite generic, or, like, the Japanese style, like, houses and towns. Like, I think it'd be really cool if they had, you know, different areas. That was one thing that was in Katamari Forever. And again, I don't fully know how many of those levels were new versus from the second game. But there's like a zoo you can go. There's a zoo you can roll around and pick up a bunch of big animals. You know, there's like different stores. There's like a supermarket.
It'd be cool to see other parts of the world too.
Exactly.
You know, like or like what if you were underwater? You know,
there's a
like
level. There's a level in Katamari Forever that's underwater.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's really fun. And then you can, when you get big enough, there are fishing hooks, and if you get caught on a fishing hook, you get pulled out of the water. And you can actually come out of the water sometimes. Although you have to be pretty big to roll up anything on the shore. Most of the stuff is like, you're intended to spend most of the time in the water.
Yeah.
But
I feel like Katamari is not the kind of game that adding more gameplay mechanics would make it a better experience. Unless, like, I mean, maybe I'm wrong and they could come up with something interesting, but like changing the controls or adding a new like an attack or a jump or something, I feel like it would be a lot like Monkey Ball, in that it would just make the gameplay more awkward.
There's a jump in Katamari Forever. It's completely optional. Like, you really don't need to use it to do. I think there might be a couple like secrets, like like one of the cousins or a present that you need to use the jump to get, but like the levels aren't built around you using the jump. It's just more of a convenience thing. There's the last level in Katamari Forever is where you destroy the Robo King. Like, you roll up the Robo King. It's really sad. And you definitely have to use the jump there. But that's a really like unique case. But most of the levels, like, they don't expect you to use the jump. It's just there for like convenience / if you want to. And that Katamari Forever also added these like hearts that you could collect. And if you collected the hearts, it would like, they were in certain areas, and if you rolled into it, it would like pull in all the stuff around you. So it was just like a nice little boost. But that game also had, so that was in like normal mode. And then there was, you could play, most of the levels you could also play in classic mode, where you did not have the jump and the hearts weren't there. So yeah, I agree, like, it doesn't need a lot of new mechanics. I would just love, like, you know, new maps, essentially, new stuff to roll up. Like, I'm easily pleased. I just like
if every
rolling up.
6 years there was a new Katamari and just some new maps to roll around in, I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah. I feel like that's how a lot of fan bases feel. You know, it's just like, okay, it's been somewhere between 5 and 10 years. Can we just have a new game that's mostly like the last game in our franchise, please? And then game devs were like, yeah, sure. People would be happy.
Like, you don't need to reinvent the wheel with Katamari. It's fine as is.
Like, that's what happened with Mega Man. You know, Mega Man 11's like mostly the same as the other Mega Mans, and people were like, yo, sweet. And then Capcom didn't do anything after that, but you know.
Especially because I think when it's like 5 years or so, that's when it's like, oh, it's been like a while, so it's like, oh, you don't have to do anything like major. You can just bring it back because it's fresh. Like, say if you 2 years later came with a game that's pretty much the same, then people will be like, well, what the hell? This is pretty much just the same. I want something like different and like worth it. So it's like, and that is that thing of like, oh, if you really want to be able to just do more and simple, you gotta wait like several years.
I mean, Katamari kind of oh, go on.
Because then it could be like Mega Man 9, where Mega Man 9 is like, oh my god, everyone loves it. Then Mega Man 10 comes out, and even though Mega Man 10 is better, everyone's like, no, Mega Man 10 is bad because it's just the same thing as 9. So they put it on ice, and then Mega Man 11 comes out, everyone's like, this is great again. So it's like, yeah.
Katamari is like one of those franchises that like kind of exploded in popularity out of nowhere, because like, I remember it was in Japan only for a while, and then people like saw footage of it and they're like, why isn't this in the West? Why aren't we getting this? And there's this big campaign to get it on PlayStation 2 in North America. Then it finally happened, and it was popular, so they were like, well, we'll make another one. So, you know, We Love Katamari comes out a year later, and then when the next gen consoles come out, well, here's one for Xbox 360, here's one for the PSP, here's one for the PS3. And I guess people just kind of got fatigued with it, because it was like, you know, the game's so similar. and the sequels are coming out so quickly one after another that it's just sort of like, yeah, it's Katamari. Okay,
Yeah.
we get it.
That makes sense.
I think
Yeah.
they probably like oversaturated their market in that like period when it blew up, and I feel like now, but the person who is responsible for the series is not at Namco anymore, so that might be
Keita Takahashi. I hope I said that right. He stopped working on the games after the second one because I think it's because he didn't have anything else he wanted to do with it. And honestly, props on any dev who knows when to step away from their work, because it can be hard to just be like, okay, I think my vision for this is done, and to let it go, you know? Because I feel like people get very protective of their work, and there's the artist mindset of, oh, I have to keep on working on it to make it better. So, like, being able to say, no, I think I'm good is admirable in a lot of ways. I mean, also, like, wanting to improve what you're doing is also admirable, but they're admirable differently, you know?
It's kind of reminding me of The Matrix right now, actually, because he worked on the first 2 Katamari games, and I bet those were like passion projects. Like, you want to do something different and unique and quirky, and then it was like, do you want to work on all these sequels? Nah, I did my thing. That's it.
Did
and
the Wachowskis not want to work on the second and third Matrix?
The Matrix 4 is very meta because there is literally a conversation in Matrix 4. I hope this isn't a major spoiler. It's very early in the movie.
Okay, yeah, because I haven't seen it.
Where Keanu Reeves, his character has been tricked by the new Matrix to believe that he created the Matrix as a series of video games. And his friend is like, so everyone's asking for Matrix 4, and Warner Brothers is asking for Matrix 4. We got to make Matrix 4, and we're gonna make it with or without you.
Oh, weird.
So you got to imagine that's probably a conversation Lana Wachowski actually had with Warner Brothers executives, and that's why they agreed to do the movie.
Yeah, I know that. It is definitely a thing. Like, I haven't seen the movie yet, but everything I've like read and like looked into the movie, it's like, yeah, you can clearly tell it was a thing where they were like, hey, we want to make a Matrix 4. Do you want to make it? And yeah, and she's basically like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna make it, but I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want. And they're like, okay, sure, we'll give you $100
It's not
million.
like Warner Brothers is in a position to say no at this point. Like, their big studio thing with the DC movies is falling apart. Everybody hates J.K. Rowling, so it's like, and the Looney Tunes haven't been relevant in years, so they're just like, we need something to make money. Sure, do whatever the hell you want with the Matrix.
I think they'd take a lot of well-deserved backlash if they made a Matrix movie without either of the Wachowskis.
Yeah,
Like, I think especially like given that the Wachowskis are both trans women, like that would look really bad if they,
especially with the movie,
like,
especially with what the movie's about, especially with what the movies are about. So it's like, kind of need those voices.
Is Neil Patrick Harris good in The Matrix 4? Because when I found out that he's the bad guy, I was like, whoa, you can't make Neil Patrick Harris the bad guy. He's the most lovable man on the planet.
He's a very fun villain, for sure.
Have you seen?
That's good.
Have you seen the Harold and Kumar movies? He's an asshole. He's great in them.
Oh my god.
I have not, but like I just know Neil Patrick Harris is like the world's most huggable man, and like he's a pure and innocent soul. Which is part of why I couldn't watch the Series of Unfortunate Events Netflix show, because like Count Olaf is the world's worst person. And like Neil Patrick Harris just didn't work in the role for me. I mean, he was better than Jim Carrey, but Jim Carrey also wasn't acting when he did Count Olaf. He was just being Jim Carrey. So, you know.
Yeah, it's like, that is like the funny thing about both those Series of Unfortunate Events things. Is like, oh yeah, Olaf is like a fun villain, but it's like you're supposed to like despise him. It's like, yeah, when reading the books, it's like, yeah, this is the worst guy ever, but it's like, oh, it's fun. I like when he's on screen. It's like, you're not supposed to like when he's on screen.
I mean, he's got funny lines in the books. Like, I reread them a couple of years back. They hold up really well, even though they're written for children. Like, they're extremely smart books. But, like, the Count Olaf does have some funny lines, but he's not, like, you know, a lol, laugh out loud kind of funny character. He's, like, a somewhat, like, dark humor, snarky kind of character. So, that definitely doesn't fit Jim Carrey's MO where he's like goofy faces and noises. That's not what Count Olaf is supposed
But
to
the
be.
Grinch, though.
So, yeah. Okay, listen. I do not want to talk about Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
Why not?
All right. We do not mention that name in this household. I will bite you.
The name Jim
But
Carrey.
Ron
or Jim
Howard
Carrey's
directed
Grinch?
it.
Did you say bite me or fight me?
Yes.
Okay.
Listen, don't get into a tussle with me. I'll go for the neck.
Oh my.
It's a good thing I always wear my protective neck Ted gear. For
I
such
was
occasions.
expecting Ted to threaten to bite in our necks.
My anti-Ted gear.
It's just a long stick I just poke him with to keep him away.
What did you wrap it with Vegeta stickers so that I'd be horrified when you see it?
Yes.
Oh god.
See, it worked. He got up and left.
Oh, the flowers.
The flowers. Looks so floral.
So like, are the only trophies in this game just for beating the stages?
There's trophies for beating the stages, then there's a trophy for getting all of the presents, and then there's a trophy for getting, like, completing the collection, and then you get the platinum. So,
Okay.
after beating all the levels, I have all but 2 of the trophies.
Okay, so it's like 80% of the trophies are easy, and
Yes.
the rest are...
Yeah, I think it's like 1 point something percent of people have gotten all of the items. It's like ultra rare, and then the most of them are like very common.